subs for Town today. I'm expecting to see a fair few of them. I'm maybe just a handful of them. Expecting the team starting level against Norwich, so the Cats have been so far. We've got 5-6 against Harrogate and Southport. Like I said, Norwich with a strong side, a big test for the Terriers today. Tim Krul will go today for Norwich City. The players start Zimmerman, captain Lucas Rupp, Keenan Dowell, who's Lincoln Town at the stage, back to Premier League game, the top end man. Premislav Laheta, Todd Campbell, Milo Rashita, who's a new player who joined the Norwich possibly Pierre Lees Malou, Timo Pukki, of course, the best striker in the championship last season. Ballymumba, the 19-year-old at right back, Andrew Oberbamidele, who will play centre half, who actually played against Town in that game we won. Really well last season. We'll see Town on 6 now. Town in the Navy Strip again this afternoon, and we'll look at the debut at Southport this weekend. Just a reminder that's not on sale yet. Keep an eye on bt.com. Available to purchase soon. Thanks to everyone on social media who's let us know they've been getting their home kit this morning. The home kit pre-orders are being fulfilled. We expect to get yours through if you pre-order it. More than likely you will get the limited edition kit badges to go with that as well. So please let us know.
Hello, welcome to the Lotus Training Centre, a Friday lunchtime friendly. It is Norwich's third game of pre-season today, a step up in quality as they entertain Carlos Corberan's second-tier Terriers, Huddersfield Town. Well, team news, it is first action of pre-season for both Tim Krul and for Teemu Pukki. New arrivals Pierre Lees Malou and Milot Rashica both start, and Ballymumba's had a fine pre-season and he continues at right back for Norwich this afternoon. For Huddersfield, a strong team for them. 4 new defensive signings. In goal, Lee Nichols. Centre-backs, Matty Pearson from Luton. Levi Colwill on loan from Chelsea. And Ollie Turton brought in from promoted Blackpool. Well, this game has been changed to a standard 2 halves of 45 minutes. Not the planned 3 45 minutes we were going to see today. But it is going to be a standard game across 90 minutes. Norwich's 2 results so far: the win over Kings Lynn by 3-1 1 week ago, and on Tuesday a win here with a late Pierre Lees Malou goal against League One Lincoln. Huddersfield's most recent game was a win over non-league Southport by 2-0 a few days ago. They are fresh from an Essex training camp, 4 days spent in Colchester, as they undergo their preparations for the second season under the coaching of the Spaniard Carlos Corberan, who was the assistant to Marcelo Bielsa for a spell at Leeds United. In charge, Gavin Ward is the referee today for this game at the Lotus Training Centre. Norwich captained by Christoph Zimmermann. Jonathan Hogg is the skipper for the Terriers, his 8th season now playing for Huddersfield Town. Scored a rare goal too last season, 2 for him in 252 games for Huddersfield. It'll be the Terriers who will start this game for us across 2 halves of 45 minutes. Well, off we go then. Huddersfield start. Their last game in Norfolk was a rather bruising one, 7-0 at Carrow Road back in April in the Championship. In the end finished in 20th place in the second tier, some 49 points behind Norwich. On this near side is Dwayne Holmes, met by the head of Przemysław Płacheta for Norwich, playing in that left-back role again in pre-season. Ollie Turton, Holmes. Turton's pass here, though, is the calming presence of Christoph Zimmermann for Norwich. And the first touch of pre-season for Tim Krul. Holmes' pass, away by Oberbamidele, picked up here by Lewis O'Brien. Very highly thought of, the number 8 for Huddersfield Town, Lewis O'Brien. Back here now with Levi Colwell, second game for the club. The player brought in on loan from Chelsea, just 19 years of age. In goal here, Lee Nichols, signed from Russell Martin's Milton Keynes Dons, having lost his first team place at the Dons. Hogg in there to Turton. 15 here is Scott High for Huddersfield. 4 is Matty Pearson. Now the chase on for Josh Koroma for Huddersfield. The covering defender is Christoph Zimmermann. Crawl here for Lucas Rupp. Oh, it's going to come the way of Danny Ward nearly. And the header by Koroma is going to be the first corner of the game for Huddersfield Town here. Some little lapses there in concentration at the back for Norwich, almost punished by Josh Koroma for Huddersfield Town. Game's first chance comes and goes here for the second tier Terriers. Corner will be taken by the twice capped American international Dwayne Holmes, joined from Derby County mid-season last campaign. Dwayne Holmes. It's Holmes' corner. Toffolo's flick. Well, Harry Toffolo, you may recall, had 10 years on the books at Norwich. Only played 3 cup games in the first team in his time at City. This is Andrew Omobamadele. Young man who made 8 league starts in a remarkable breakthrough last season. Omobamadele. Now Christoph Zimmermann for Norwich. In here to Ballymumba, who really has caught the eye in the pre-season matches so far. Agreed a new long-term 4-year deal last week as well to extend his stay with the Canaries. In by Toffolo here. Back to Colwell. Looks a very cool and calm, assured young defender, Levi Colwell. Schooled at Chelsea. Now Ollie Turton. Turton brought in from promoted Blackpool in the summer. Hit long here by Pearson. Chase on for Turton, covered by Omobamadele. The aggression so far coming from Huddersfield Town, who do begin their season 1 week before Norwich's kicks off in the Premier League. First game will be against Wayne Rooney's Derby County on August the 7th for the Terriers. Here's Scott High. Into Jonathan Hogg. Now Matty Pearson. Had 3 years with Luton Town before the move to Huddersfield in this close season. Christoph Zimmermann. On here to find Pierre Lees-Melou. Pukki. Pukki's pass sees Mumba's run. Headed by Toffolo. Back here with Lee Nichols. As I say, lost his place at MK Dons as Russell Martin's number 1 last season. Has moved on and hopes to put the pressure on young Ryan Schofield to be Huddersfield Town's first choice for the coming season. Toffolo. Header cleared by the fearless Zimmermann. Lees-Melou. Milot Rashica. Rashica. Hogg was rather late there on the Kosovan. Play goes on here with Pwaketa. Pwaketa running on here, Lucas Rupp for Norwich. And Rupp's pulled back towards Pukki. Lees-Melou. Lees-Melou's deflected shot just past the post. Well, Norwich's first major moment of this friendly. And Pierre Lees-Melou, whose goal beat Lincoln here on Tuesday, close there via the big defensive deflection to the game's first goal this afternoon. It'll be a Przemysław Pwaketa corner for the Canaries. Pwaketa takes the corner towards Zimmermann, away by Danny Ward for Huddersfield Town, picked up here by Lucas Rupp. On to Teemu Pukki. Omobamadele Well, a game with a fairly lively start for a pre-season friendly. Of course, the chief aim is to get miles on the legs and energy in the tank for the games to come when it really matters, but a game to really enjoy so far. Both teams with early opportunities. Back here with Nichols. Hogg. Harry Toffolo. Nichols pressured here by Cantwell. The corner rather given away there by Huddersfield Town. Little maybe overplaying defensively from the team from the Championship. In the end finished some 6 points proud of the relegation places, but it was at times a close run thing for Huddersfield last season. First season under Corberán, desire to, like Daniel Farke, really develop his own style with Huddersfield. It's Paqueta's corner for Omobamidele. But as Norwich gear up for Daniel Farke's fifth season, the Huddersfield aim is to, rather in a similar fashion, develop their own identity and style of play under Corberán. Of course, leans heavily on his experience alongside Marcelo Bielsa at Leeds United. Dwayne Holmes the target, here he is. Holmes high, and Tim Krul has it. Krul unused in the Dutch team's 3 games in the group stage of the Euros. Throw here for Paqueta. Back to Pierre Les Melou. On to Bali Mumba. Cantwell. Has Les Melou on the ball here now. The player brought in from Nice this summer for Norwich. The ball out to Paqueta. Paqueta teasing Turton, who blocks the shot. Holmes coming away here for Huddersfield. And a rather heavy challenge on Milot Rashica. Will give Norwich a free kick in a position of some promise. Norwich did beat Huddersfield home and away. The first game of last season was the win away with Adam Idar's goal at Huddersfield. Goal from Adam Idar won that match back in September. Then April's resounding Teemu Pukki hat-trick led 7-0 over the Terriers in that final push for promotion back in the spring. Mumba. Now Omobamidele into Cantwell here. And Pukki spins away. Colwell into Hogg. Now Harry Toffolo. Back by Karoma here for Nichols. In goes Dowell. Rashica back to Christoph Zimmermann. Now Les Melou. We have seen with Les Melou the ability to really switch the play. Back with Cantwell. Ahead he's got Kieran Dowell. Here's Paqueta. Takes on Turton. Paqueta's cross. Here's Rashica. Behind is Pierre Les Melou. Cantwell, the shot from Kieran Dowell is over the top. Well, Dowell scored twice in the first game of the pre-season away to Kings Lynn 7 days ago. 2 well-taken goals there at the Walks a week ago, but that's his first glimpse of the target in this one today. Hogg. Back with Levi Colwill. Hogg on the stretch. Stopped there by Lucas Rupp's tenacity. And he'll drive on for Norwich. Rupp. Rashica. Rashica, who scored 3 goals in Werder Bremen's relegation from the Bundesliga last season. allowed to make the move on from Germany to try his luck in the Premier League this season. Rashid, a player we know has explosive pace, acceleration. 21 goals in 87 games in the German excuse me, top flight. O'Brien. Just signs Norwich have begun to find their rhythm after a solid Huddersfield start. Free kick here, which is taken by Jonathan Hogg for Scott High. Back with Matty Pearson, very experienced defender in the Football League. Dwayne Holmes. Back to Colwill, who is inexperienced. Toffolo. Well, Toffolo's had a fine career away from Norwich, clubs like Millwall and Lincoln City before the move on to Huddersfield Town. Came through the ranks here, had 10 years on the books at Norwich City. As I say, just those 3 games in cup ties for the Canaries' first team. But has certainly had since then a really good EFL career. So free kick Huddersfield Town. And then Matty Pearson and Colwill up from centre-back, well advanced here for the Terriers, who did find goals rather hard to come by last season. In here by Dwayne Holmes. Krul's come a long way, got a good punch on it. Here's O'Brien, referee in the way there, Gavin Ward. Now the break on for Cantwell, maybe stopped by Dwayne Holmes. Now the counter is on. Pukki feeds Cantwell. Within Rupp arriving at pace with real menace here for Norwich. Lucas Rupp, Teemu Pukki, and Pukki's finish is typical and trademark, and his first game of pre-season marked straight away with the game's go-ahead goal. Teemu Pukki begins his 4th Norwich season in the way you'd expect, with a goal. A hat-trick in the Canaries' last game versus the Terriers back in April. And Pukki there, razor sharp, when he began his pre-season training earlier this week. In his first game of the preamble, he's off the mark. So Norwich with the first incision of this friendly. There's O'Brien. Back here now with Levi Colwill. Matty Pearson for Huddersfield Town. 15 is Scott High. Up to O'Brien. Now Harry Toffolo. Toffolo for O'Brien. There's Karoma. Back with Levi Colwill. Pushed on again to Matty Pearson. So Teemu Pukki's goal the difference. Scored 26 league goals in last season's title win. In his Norwich League career, in 120 matches, 66 goals. Here's Danny Ward. Ward shot. And he made 6 starts in his return to the club from Cardiff last season, Danny Ward. This is Christoph Zimmermann, pressured there by Josh Karoma. Rashid says layoff meant here for Paqueta. It drops to Lucas Rupp, who led the charge for the goal Norwich have scored so far today. Les Melou. Paqueta. Great pace to shrug off the challenge there from Dwayne Holmes. It's Cantwell. Into Rupp, and Cantwell across to captain for the day again, Christoph Zimmermann. Grant Hanley is, we're told, close to a playing return. Cantwell lost the ball. There's O'Brien and Hogg. O'Brien. Omabama Daly again, super cool, just 19 still. Omabama Daly looks a player way beyond his years. Here he is again. Had his first senior island call-up back in June as well to the full national squad. Didn't win a cap, but surely not far away. Here's Les Melou. Drilled across to Poqueta. Accelerates. The pole means business. Poqueta back to Rupp. Into Dal. Omabama Daly. Cantwell. Les Melou again, that passing range evident here to pick out Rashica. Rashica runs on for Lucas Rupp. And the shot fielded by goalkeeper Lee Nichols. Lucas Rupp, who has yet to score a goal in Norwich colours in competitive play. Nichols lofted here towards Turton, intercepted by Dow here for Rashica. Pierre Les Melou. Ballymunba arriving at pace on the spot. Here now is Todd Cantwell. Cantwell, Dow, ahead Pookie on the move. Away by Harry Toffel over Huddersfield. Well, for Norwich, a very satisfactory game so far. Here is Poqueta into Rashica. Omabama Daly. Les Melou. Into Pookie. First time for Kieran Dow. Dow now Cantwell to plot and scheme to cross. And Nichols with a safe take at midriff height. This is Lewis O'Brien, born in Colchester, though has come through the ranks with Huddersfield Town at 22. He's already the club's vice-captain. Really highly thought of Lewis O'Brien. Scored 3 goals in 42 league appearances in the Championship last season. And what was, as I say, a tough season for Huddersfield Town, adapting to the new coach and his methods, his style of play, what he demands of them. In here by Harry Toffel over Huddersfield Town. Movement from high and from Karoma here. This is Josh Karoma. Joined the club from Leyton Orient a couple of years ago. 8 goals in 20 league matches in the second tier for him last season. Colwell. O'Brien. Les Melou. Quick free kick wide here to find Harry Toffolo. Towards Danny Ward, here he is. And away by Lucas Rupp. Rupp and Dowell, stopped there by Jonathan Hogg. Well, Ballymunba, 19, like Omabama Daly, 2 players with clearly enormous football futures. Mumba brought in from Sunderland, only featured in 4 league matches last season, but that new long-term deal does underline what the club think of him. On the throw here, it is Ollie Turton for Huddersfield Town. 28 now. Scored an own goal in the first minute of Blackpool's playoff final. Cross here. Oh, and it's off Zimmerman and behind for a corner. That was, again, a defensive moment for Norwich, and this time Christoph Zimmerman off his chest behind for a corner. Happy set pieces. There is height in there for Huddersfield Town. Players like Matty Pearson, Danny Ward. In there now as well, the teenager Levi Colwill as well. What can they produce here with Dwayne Holmes? Holmes takes the corner. It's Colwell's header. On loan from Chelsea. Of course, with Chelsea first team games for their young players, very hard to come by, so the hope is, like with Norwich, and Billy Gilmore will come away from Chelsea, have a year's experience at another club to find his feet and find himself as a player. Looks very assured already alongside the experienced Matty Holmes in that defensive line for Huddersfield Town today, Levi Colwell. Here is Omabamidele. Krull here towards Ballymumba, down towards Cantwell, and Mumba goes again. Here in behind for a moment here, Ballymumba for Norwich. It's Mumba into Pukki, but away will come O'Brien here for Huddersfield Town, up towards Ward. It's still O'Brien though. Now Karoma takes over the charge. Good defensive work there from Les Melou. Joined from Nice a few weeks ago and looks the part so far, Pierre Les Melou. Now Pukki chasing away here, but Pearson covering. And Lee Nichols with the clearance. I'd say so far though from Pierre Les Melou, it's been a really impressive display. Tall, upright midfielder. Foul here on Omabamidele by Danny Ward. 8 league starts for Omabamidele last season and grew with every single one of them. Young man who is making enormous strides. Rashica. Paqueta. Lucas Rupp away from Holmes with some lovely footwork here, the German. Now Cantwell. Cantwell glides across the turf and looks here for Paqueta. And wins a corner here, the pole of Ollie Turton. Well, a highly watchable game so far at the Lotus Training Centre. Norwich lead through a goal from, no surprises in guessing, Teemu Pukki. It'll be a Milo Rashica set piece. As Paqueta nearest as the option to him. In here by Rashica. And the header from Zimmerman is grabbed by goalkeeper Nichols. Well, Nichols began his career with Wigan, didn't make the first team grade there, but another one who's had a really good long EFL career away from his formative club. Did have issues with goalkeeper last season, Huddersfield Town. They backed the homegrown youngster Ryan Schofield for long spells, but had his critics, and Nichols comes in as very seasoned backup to push Schofield to higher heights. Pearson, met by Les Melou. Now Lucas Rupp for Kieran Dowell. Omabamidele. Przemysław Paqueta. Now Christoph Zimmerman. Cantwell, must say the surface here is absolutely perfect for this game. There is Omabamidele across that lush carpet into Pukki. And Zimmerman onto Mumba. Dowell, Rashica. Cantwell pressured by Lewis O'Brien. Ballymumba. Well, Norwich buoyed, of course, by the news this week of Daniel Farke's extension for 4 more years. Here is a Pukki for Milot Rashica. Rashica still, the pullback is stopped by O'Brien. It comes to Pierre Lees-Merlou, again the deflected shot here, and Nichols' punch is clear. Omabamadele, who's lost the ball here, now the counter raid is on, led by Scott High for Huddersfield Town, on the counter. High, on by Ward here, and then Ballymumba with some really high-class defensive work to slide the ball away from Josh Karoma. All came there from the ball being lost by Omabamadele, and Scott High broke with a real sense of purpose and direction, and full marks Ballymumba. Back here now with Levi Colwell for Matty Pearson for Huddersfield Town. Hogg, the real midfield metronome in there, does the simple things so well for Huddersfield Town. Ollie Turton. Don't forget the defence today for Huddersfield Town, only Harry Toffler at the club last season. A real defensive rethink for Carlos Corberan. Norwich's season starts, we know, at home to Liverpool. Get the impression it'll be a more streetwise and savvy Norwich in the Premier League this season. Here is Lees-Merlou into Cantwell. Back to Christoph Zimmermann. Mumba. Cantwell, Mumba again. Well, Mumba offers Norwich in that right-back role a real attacking outlet. Always wants the ball, always willing to push on, take on defenders and make things happen. Here's Lees-Merlou. Rashica's flick on for Pukki. Pukki was a fraction beyond the last man. And offside the call here against the Finn, who did start all 3 of Finland's games in their historic first Euros back in June. Didn't get beyond the group stage, but Pukki in that historic team which made Finland's first ever major senior men's finals. Ollie Turton. Back here with Jonathan Hogg for Huddersfield Town. He sits behind the other 2 midfielders, High and O'Brien. This is Pearson into Karoma. Hogg. Now Turton has set off here at pace with a mission, but the ball just bounced away from Ollie Turton. Well, Tim Krul has a rival again for the goalkeeper's jersey with Angus Gunn's arrival. Gunn, who started the first game against Kings Lynn. Also Michael McGovern on the books as cover as well. The goalkeeping department at Norwich is especially well blessed for the coming season. Tim Krul really head and shoulders the best goalkeeper in the 2nd tier last season. Lees-Merlou. Well, Norwich with a good half's work so far. The only goal scored by Teemu Pukki. Huddersfield's chances coming really after Norwich half mistakes at the back, so Norwich with some degree of control so far, despite just that 1 goal advantage. Of course, results aren't essential in pre-season, but wins are always useful. Norwich is 2 so far over Kings Lynn and Lincoln here on Tuesday. Huddersfield winning there 2 as well against Harrogate and against Southport. Hogg. Toffolo. Now Zimmermann for Norwich. Helped on to Rupp, who always wants the ball, Les Melou, Rashica. Here will come Omar Bamadele. Les Melou. Bali Mumba. Now Cantwell. Colwill steps in and does well here, and they'll push on from centre back and taken down by Les Melou. We can see, even in these friendly matches, is a player who does enjoy and relish the physical. Cuts a fairly imposing figure too, Pierre Les Melou. So free kick Huddersfield Town taken here by Harry Toffolo. Blocked by Rupp. Now Christoph Zimmermann. Les Melou. Mumba. Running on is Cantwell, covered by Colwill, who rather clatters the Dereham-born Norwich playmaker. So a set piece for Norwich and a chance here to maybe fashion a chance for a second goal in the first half. Pukki with the one they do have in this friendly so far. It's Porqueta's ball in, far too near to goalkeeper Lee Nichols. Now Nichols looks here for Dwayne Holmes, who's made the early burst. Mumba is alert to the danger. Mumba under pressure here from three attacking players, but escapes the lot, and now it's with Lucas Rupp into Pukki. Little roll away from his marker Turton. It's Teemu Pukki. Cantwell. Dow. Pierre Les Melou. Looks here for Porqueta, but too near to goalkeeper Lee Nichols again for Huddersfield. Hogg. Matty Pearson. Holmes away from Lucas Rupp in. Now the counter on again for Huddersfield Town towards Scott High. It's won back by Jonathan Hogg now for O'Brien. Has Toffolo to his left. Here is the former 10-year Canary. O'Brien. Toffolo goes on. And across comes Christoph Zimmermann. Colwill, who can play as a left back as well as his centre back position, Levi Colwill. He will offer Corberan some degree of defensive options and versatility in the coming season, the young man from Chelsea. O'Brien. Toffolo. It'll be a long throw here, one imagines, for Huddersfield Town. The big bodies again forward here in Colwill and Matty Pearson. In there by Dwayne Holmes. Here's Colwill. Cantwell's clearance. Now Ollie Turton. Norwich do have, beyond today, 4 more games to come of pre-season. Coventry and Chesterfield is the next examination next Wednesday. Here's Les Melou. Zimmermann, it's Colwill again with a good steal here. Colwill, Scott High, into Danny Ward. Towards Karoma. As behind here in support, Harry Toffolo. Scott high, Toffolo again, Rupp shuts the door for Norwich. Now Pookie chasing, covered here by Matty Pearson. Beyond that game against Coventry, Norwich's final 3 matches of pre-season, away to Sheffield United, at home to Gillingham at Carrow Road, and then the last test, August the 7th, a Saturday away to fellow Premier Leaguers, Newcastle United. This is Christoph Zimmermann for Bali Mumba. Blocked by Danny Ward. One imagines both coaches fairly happy with their first halves so far. Norwich certainly with the scoreline. Huddersfield's endeavour's been impressive as well. Certainly Carlos Corberán's team benefiting from their 4-day training camp in Colchester. Bali Mumba towards Milot Rashica. I must say, in 20 years I've been coming here, the way this training ground has developed into the complex it is today is really remarkable. A real fitting home for a Premier League football club at the moment, the Lotus Training Centre. It has come on leaps and bounds in recent years. This is Christoph Zimmermann. Les Melou. Cantwell now for Rashica. Back with Bali Mumba. Norwich enjoying lots of the ball here as they try to outpass their second-tier opponents. Rashica. Huddersfield's goal, of course, is to have much more say on the promotion conversation in the coming championship season. Far too near to relegation for any kind of comfort in Corberán's first season in charge. Now Krul hit long here for Rashica. Control was excellent. Away by O'Brien. Club's connection, of course, includes Stuart Webber. He was the Huddersfield Town sporting director before he took over the role at Norwich. On this throw is Harry Toffolo. I think I can see over there as well, watching on Delia Smith. Here is Ollie Turton. And Turton long here for the chasing Dwayne Holmes. Omobamidele again shows that reading of the game, which for a young man of 19 is extraordinary. How much he has come on as a defender. First team footballers really brought out the best in Omobamidele already. Here's O'Brien. That'll be a goal kick. The last touch was off O'Brien. Now Bali Mumba. Les Melou. And again. Now Rupp pressured by Scott High. More mistake by Omobamidele there. Just stepped on the ball almost and almost allowed High to get in behind him. Good recovery. Porqueta. Only won 4 away games last season, Huddersfield Town. The away form was an issue. No club but won fewer games away in last season's championship. Only 12 wins home and away all season. Only Derby, Wycombe, Rotherham won fewer. O'Brien into Danny Ward now. It comes for Turton. Zimmermann strides away and finds Cantwell. Ahead Rashica. And Colwell, super cool. Back to Lee Nichols. As well as Norwich's incoming signings, the likes of Rashid, Billy Gilmore, Angus Gunn and Les Milou. We should also point out the extensions, the business done there in terms of contract renewals. Daniel Farker's the latest, along with Ballymumba and Jakob Sørensen. Grant Hanley as well. It's about the future being built here by Norwich. And impressive work done in terms of recruitment and extensions in the last few weeks. Dwayne Holmes with the foul here on Todd Cantwell. Norwich free kick. After a baking hot few days, it's a fairly breezy and almost autumnal day in Norwich today. This is Omabamadele. On to Paqueta. Cantwell. Paqueta goes again. Covered by Matty Pearson. Well, Paqueta's reinvention in this pre-season as a left wing back or left back is another encouraging sign for Daniel Farker. Certainly was a mixed first season here for Przemysław Paqueta, but early signs are in pre-season that he could well have a big role to play going forward in the Premier League. Referee Gavin Ward wants a word here with Matty Pearson. Huddersfield's summer business, around 7 first-team players brought in so far as Carlos Corberán shapes and moulds his squad more to his liking after his first season. Here's Scott High, great turn. On to Turton. It's Ollie Turton for Huddersfield Town. Turton and Scott High in towards Karoma. And a foul seen by referee Gavin Ward. Free kick to Norwich. Well, no sign of the 7 goals Norwich put past Huddersfield in their last game in Norfolk. But a pretty cohesive Norwich so far, which in pre-season is always a good sign. Of course, given the way of the world, no overseas pre-season matches for Norwich this summer. Here's Dowell for Mumba. Helped on to Dowell. Ballymumba again. Ball stays in play well here for him. It's Les Milou given away to Hogg. Free kick to Huddersfield. O'Brien's switch of play for them. It's read here by Paqueta and poked away for a throw for the Terriers. On the throw here, it's Ollie Turton. Back to Jonathan Hogg. On the ball here is Pearson for Holmes. And again, Matty Pearson. On to Turton. Turton, O'Brien. Hogg for Karoma. Karoma backheels the ball into the path of Harry Toffolo. Toffolo's cross. Paqueta's header back into Tim Krul's waiting arms. And that ends the first half of Norwich's third game of pre-season. And so far, a lead through a goal from Teemu Pukki, the difference. Good game to watch this so far. Both teams have had their chances. But Pukki's goal is the halfway difference. The score here at the Lotus Training Centre at half-time. It is Norwich City 1, Huddersfield Town 0.
Let's go.
Welcome back. The two teams back out then for the second half of this third of Norwich's pre-season matches. A 1-0 lead here, a goal from Teemu Pukki, the difference. Pukki has gone off. There'll be, I'm sure, a raft of changes. Adam Idar is on to replace him. Huddersfield, I'm sure, make changes too. I think they're going to make a goalkeeping switch with Ryan Schofield on for the second half of the Terriers. Also Jordan Hugel out there. So maybe a change to a front two here with both Idar and Hugel on for Norwich. Idar's goal, you might remember, was the one which beat Huddersfield Town back on the first day of last season at the John Smith Stadium. A win which rather set the tone for the two clubs' respective seasons. It has been a very strong Norwich display offensively so far in this first half. Also, Onel Hernandez has come on for his first taste of pre-season after being involved with Cuba's abortive attempt to play at the CONCACAF Gold Cup in the USA. Norwich's internationals back and part of their pre-season preparations today. So I can see those three Norwich changes, Idar, Hugel and Hernandez on. I think just one for Huddersfield, the goalkeeping switch with Ryan Schofield replacing Lee Nichols for the second half. So Hugel starts the second half. The Norwich players taken off, I think, are Cantwell, Pukki and also Rashica. In goal a change too here with Michael McGovern, so 4 Daniel Farke half-time switches. Here is Porchetta. Back to Andrew Omobamidele. McGovern and Rupp pressured by Dwayne Holmes and indeed fouled by the American. Well, these games are, of course, about getting players sharp and fit and ready for the rigours of the coming season. I think in terms of Norwich's display so far, the headline has been that of Pierre Lees-Melou. Very impressive, imposing midfield presence with a great passing range in that first half. Here's Omobamidele. On the throw here is Ollie Turton for Huddersfield, who will be, of course, with their season a week nearer, a week further down the pre-season preparation route, the Terriers. This is Lees-Melou. O'Brien and Hogg into Josh Karoma. Now it's Ollie Turton onto Holmes. Came off Scott High. Back here to Jonathan Hogg for Huddersfield. Hogg. Turton gives and goes here. It's Oliver Turton's cross, and on the stretch behind for the corner from Andrew Omobamidele. As with the first half, Huddersfield have been the quicker to hit their stride in the second. It'll be a corner taken by Dwayne Holmes, has Josh Karoma as the short option nearest to him. In goal, a Norwich change with Michael McGovern now between the posts. Corner taken here by Dwayne Holmes. Up goes Pearson. It's come off the head of, in the end, Levi Colwell, who has had a good game so far, the young man from Chelsea. Michael McGovern's goal with its first second half scare. Here is Andrew Omobamidele. McGovern here for Hugel. Turton. Pearson now for Levi Colwell. Toffolo, little give and go here for him as well. Toffolo. High on to find O'Brien. Scott High goes again for Huddersfield here. Scott High, Harry Toffolo. Good work here by Harry Toffolo. Toffolo's run off the line by Poqueta. It'll be a corner, but that was a really good burst into the box from the former Canary, Harry Toffolo, away from Les Melou. And it's away from danger by Shemiswa Poqueta. On the corner again, it'll be Dwayne Holmes for Huddersfield. Holmes corner. Up goes Pearson. Here now is Danny Ward. He does challenge. It's Danny Ward still. Ward goes on. Zimmerman with the clearance. In goal here is Huddersfield born and raised Ryan Schofield now for the second half. Was the first choice for the bulk of last season. Had his moments, had his critics. But a young goalkeeper with England youth recognition behind him. Here's Holmes. That's a foul in Lucas Rupp's favour. Here is Andrew Omabamadele. On to Christoph Zimmerman. Bali Mumba. Defender here is Colwell. Hooked away by Harry Toffolo. Retrieved here by Josh Karoma. O'Brien. Now Karoma looks to stretch the legs and triple Zimmerman. McGovern's kick unconvincing. Here is Poqueta. McGovern's clearance this time is rather better. O'Brien and Holmes in there to the feet of Scott High. Now Les Melou. I'll get the impression Les Melou could become a really big Norwich fan favourite the way he's begun his Canary career. Here comes Poqueta. Adam Ida. Ida who scored at Kings Lynn a week ago. Now Onel Hernandez. Hernandez! And Schofield's first save since coming on is there to deny Adam Ida. There's Turton. Now Hugill will pressure Schofield. Les Melou heads down to find Lucas Rupp for the Canaries. Rupp, Ida. Onto Bali Mumba. Now Ida spins away again. Ida, another young man making huge strides in his professional career. Danny Ward helped on now to Karoma. Now O'Brien's forward burst. Zimmerman's challenge on him is going to call play back here for a free kick for Huddersfield. Christoph Zimmerman on Josh Karoma. Huddersfield have been a threat on the counter so far in transition, looking really good, the Terriers. It'll be a Harry Toffolo free kick. Pearson. Now it's with Turton. Holds off Onel Hernandez. Colwell. Now O'Brien. Into Kuroma, breaks here for Ward, maybe fortuitously. On the chase here, Scott high. It's high for Huddersfield Town, angle is tight. And the ball deflects away and behind for a corner here, but Scott High got in behind Norwich there for a moment and almost levelled the game. Just a 1-goal lead, and here Scott High a whisker away from 1-1. It's Holmes' corner. Attacked there by Colwell. And McGovern's handling secure beneath the bar. Target here is the chasing Ida. Defender covering is O'Brien. Back with Schofield. Hogg. Now it's Dwayne Holmes. Back with Jonathan Hogg. Poiketa to nick the ball away here for Norwich. Pressured by Jonathan Hogg. Oh, the mistake here lets in Danny Ward. And here is Kuroma. Josh Kuroma, big chance. And he's not taken it. Well, Josh Kuroma scored 8 times in 20 games in last season's championship. And that was his first real chance today, and one he really could and should have done much better with. But Huddersfield now making chances in the second half. Here is Poiketa into Adamida. Rupp onto Poiketa. Back with Omabamadele. McGovern there with the little lofted pass back out to Omabamadele. Rupp into Ida. Here is Les Melu. Again, that passing range here to pick out Ballymumba was really impressive. O'Neill Hernandez in towards Hugill. Back again with the Cuban. O'Neill Hernandez crosses. Away that time by Harry Toffolo. Les Melu comes here to Omabamadele. Ballymumba. Pierre Les Melu. Again, the ball from Les Melu was played superbly. Here is Poiketa. Back with Omabamadele. Norwich's first real spell this have considered. Second half possession in the Huddersfield half. Comes to Ballymumba. Back with Michael McGovern. Les Melu. Mumba. In goes Toffolo on Ballymumba. Well, Toffolo, a very seasoned EFL fullback. Ballymumba in that position one, still really learning his trade. Here's Omabamadele. Rupp here for Hugill. Colwell. Got 18 there you see on the ball, an organiser looking to instruct and move around his teammates. Here comes Harry Toffolo, stopped by Les Melu. Danny Ward. Now Jonathan Hogg for Huddersfield. You'd say their players maybe deserved a goal so far today, Huddersfield Town. Second half have made good opportunities. Just a wake-up call to Norwich that this game is not a done deal at 1-0, that's for sure. O'Neill Hernandez late on Levi Colwell. Here comes O'Brien. O'Brien rolled across here to Hogg. There's Les Melu. Rupp's pass here for O'Neill Hernandez. Hernandez looks for Ida. Ida has behind him here Proketa, the Pole. Proketa takes on Holmes, crosses here towards Hugill, but a good claim there from Ryan Schofield. Didn't play the 7-0 loss to Norwich back in April at Carrow Road, Schofield. But did have his critics in his matches in the first team last season. Always, of course, for a homegrown player, a Huddersfield fan, to come through to the first team, a big thing. Goalkeepers, of course, do mature for the most part much later than outfield players do. Ida with Matty Pearson, free kick here for Norwich, in a position which may well tempt Pierre Lees-Melou. Also there is Kieran Dowell, who did have a free kick which he put over the bar against Kings Lynn last Friday. Proketa, I think, wants it as well, maybe. There is a number of options on this free kick for Norwich to maybe get a strike away on Schofield's goal. The ball has been spotted and placed by Kieran Dowell. Brace of goals in last week's friendly at Kings Lynn. There's a 1-2-3 4-man wall built here by Schofield. Lees-Melou with the right foot or the left of Dowell or Proketa. It's Kieran Dowell! And a good diving save from Schofield behind here for the corner. Well, Dowell's had a sparkling pre-season so far. That free kick whipped around the wall, and Schofield moved the feet well to get down to make the save. So a corner for Norwich. That was their first real second half chance of any real note. Proketa will take this corner. And it goes here towards Ida. Away comes initially Karoma here for the chase of Holmes. McGovern for Rupp. Ballymumba has just moved across here to the left-hand side. Back with Omabamidele. Now Ballymumba again. Well, Mumba again pushed on there towards Proketa. For now, Norwich have Lees-Melou playing as the nominal right-back in their formation. Now Mumba comes across back to reclaim his place on the left-hand side. Now Danny Ward. Pearson. Kieran Dowell breaks away. Dowell onto O'Neill Hernandez. Hernandez crosses. Here is Hugill with the header. And over the bar from Jordan Hugill, who chipped in with, in all competitions, 5 goals as Puckie's backup last season for Norwich. Different play to Puckie. Jordan Hugill offers maybe more of a target man option. There will be some changes made here, of course. Pre-season always a chance to for the coaches rotate their pack, look at options and experiment, and we're going to see a double switch here for the Terriers. Coming off is Danny Ward. I think as well Scott High. I think Dwayne Holmes has departed too, so here come the changes for Carlos Corberan. Jordan Rhodes has come on, a player of whom Norwich fans have fond recollection. Had that year in Daniel Farke's first title win, 18-19 on loan from Sheffield Wednesday back then. Now has gone back to Huddersfield Town on a permanent deal. Zorba Thomas has come on as well. And also in there wearing number 14 is Josh Ruffles. Here is Proketa. Now Thomas. And Rhodes wins the free kick against his old club. Rhodes was, I guess, the Hugill in his time here with the number 2 to Teemu Pukki. Certainly a player Norwich fans have good memories of, Jordan Rhodes. On this free kick, it's Zorba Thomas, player brought in from non-league Boreham Wood of the National League back in January. In here by Thomas, away by the head of Les Melou. Karoma, back to O'Brien, lovely feet here from O'Brien. O'Brien's pass, Karoma moves the ball well here, onto Harry Toffolo. Toffolo! Right across the Norwich goal from Harry Toffolo. And again, Huddersfield fashion a good chance to level this friendly. Harry Toffolo with it. Omabama Daly has a slight problem. There will be a Norwich change. I think Max Aarons will come on for a second half run out. Daniel Farker instructing Aarons before he will join the fray. Here's Les Melou. Turton helped on here to Zorba Thomas. And Thomas, deflection. Offside here though against Zorba Thomas. Did come on 7 times as a sub last season, having come in from Boreham Wood. He, as a young man on the books at West Ham United. But still, Teemu Pukki's goal on 14 minutes of the first half, the difference. 1-0 the score here in Tuesday's win over League One Lincoln. Today certainly, in terms of opposition, a step up in calibre for Norwich. Next they will take on another team from the second tier, Coventry at Chesterfield next Wednesday night. So Max Aarons on, replacing Ballymumba. This Aarons' second examination of pre-season. Already a young man with 122 games in Norwich league action. Equalled his career best of 2 league goals too last season, Max Aarons. His cousin Rolanda, by the way, in the books, Huddersfield Town, but not involved here today. Back here with Schofield. Now Turton. Colwell. This is Omabama Daly. Hernandez spins away from Harry Toffolo here. Hernandez, explosive play, gets away from Toffolo for Norwich. In by Hernandez, looking for Hugill. And Colwell there to just block it away for a corner for the Canaries. Hernandez looking bright since coming on at half-time for his first action of pre-season. Certainly hope to be part of Cuba's Gold Cup. They didn't in the end make it to the finals. Unable to get admission to the USA for that CONCACAF tournament. On the corner here for Norwich, it's Shemiswaf Poheta. In goes the corner, looking for Hugill. And blocked to the near post by goalkeeper Schofield here. Norwich beginning to, you sense, apply the pressure, turn the screw on Huddersfield Town. As they seek a second goal, Hugill well kept out. Corner short here to Hernandez. Hernandez, Poheta. Away by Karoma. Now Max Aarons on the ball for Norwich. It's Omabama Daly. Zimmerman. Poheta Up goes Sorba Thomas. Rupp, Les Melou, and Lucas Rupp. Wide here to find Onil Hernandez. It is Hernandez. Hernandez! And again the goalkeepers respond smartly there, Schofield. Down to beat the ball clear at the near post from the drive from Onil Hernandez, who has been since coming on for Norwich a real attacking asset, a real weapon. On the corner it'll be Kieran Dowell for the Canaries. In by Dowell, header from Jordan Rhodes from danger. It's Kieran Dowell. Les Melou. And away by Josh Karoma for Huddersfield Town. Here's Aarons. Into Rupp. Well, Rupp has really set the midfield tone for Norwich. Really gives the ball away, Lucas Rupp. Here's Aarons. Into the feet of Kieran Dowell. Onto Andrew Omobamidele. Paqueta now trying his luck as a more offensive player in the second half. It's come now to Onil Hernandez. Hernandez drops the shoulder, twists and turns, takes on Toffolo. And Jonathan Hogg is there to bring the ball clear for Huddersfield Town. Karoma, boxed in by Rupp and by Hernandez. Here's Les Melou. Brian left his mark on Les Melou. On to Zimmerman. Rupp. Adamida. Oh, Dowell pressured there by Matty Pearson. Away now will come Josh Ruffles. It's Sorba Thomas. And Thomas blocked by Omobamidele, who's not missed a beat in the second half. But Sorba Thomas has given Huddersfield options since coming on. They've won this corner. Well, Thomas will be the dead ball option here for the Terriers. Jordan Rhodes in the middle. Ollie Turton stands on McGovern's toes. In by Thomas towards Toffolo, met by the head of Hugill. Only a goal kick. With the change here being readied by Huddersfield Town. Carlos Corberán again keen to look at other options in this second half. It'll be Karoma, the player who is being withdrawn. So coming on here is the young Frenchman Brahima Diarra, player they brought in 2 years ago, born in Paris. Only 2 senior first team matches in competitive play for him last season, both in the FA Cup and in the league. Here is Diarra. On to Toffolo. O'Brien, who was caught late there by Pierre Les Melou. The right ankle is caught there by Les Melou. And referee Gavin Ward will have a word here with Norwich's new French midfielder. Very painful blow for O'Brien to absorb. And a free kick for Huddersfield Town.
18 to run it off. Can we leave it as 1-1? It was. I will give you that. I'll give you that. So I'm going to let you have half. Right?
Well, O'Brien's okay to carry on. It'll be a free kick here, which is going to be taken by Levi Colwell. Rhodes. On here to Turton. Thomas. Thomas crosses. It'll reach here, Rhodes maybe shouldn't have done. And Rhodes' shot is in the end midway between McGovern's post and the corner flag. Well, Jordan Rhodes at Norwich, 6 goals in 36 games in his 1 season with the Canaries. Joined Huddersfield again 8 years after he initially left the club to join Blackburn Rovers, 8 years away from what is now the John Smith Stadium. Hugill. Now Przemysław Pacheta. It runs on to Rhodes. Rhodes battling here, and Les Melou again with a foul challenge. Well, Les Melou, we can certainly see, is not one to shirk the physical for Norwich. Here's Harry Toffolo. Colwill. Pearson. Sorba Thomas spins away here from Rupp. In the centre, Rhodes, O'Brien, and also Ruffles in there. Sorba Thomas. Now Diarra looks for Rhodes. A good work at this for Daniel Farke's team ahead of the Premier League. Lots of players have caught the eye, lots have got pre-season miles in the legs. And that is the name of the game in these early matches of the summer. Back with Schofield. This is Diarra. Foul on Turton will give Huddersfield again a free kick. Only 18, Brahima Diarra, the player who's just come on for the Terriers. The Parisian has certainly played a couple of the pre-season matches so far for Huddersfield Town. Here he is. Into Thomas. Diarra, who's lost the ball now to Les Melou. Hogg. Matty Pearson. Missed by Les Melou, runs on here to Sorba Thomas. Les Melou again got in to win the ball, comes back here to O'Brien. Now space to work in for Harry Toffolo. Lewis O'Brien. And Aarons with the block. O'Brien's lofted pass, so Hernandez got enough on it. Now Ida spins away for Norwich. On his own for now, Adam Ida. Arriving Hugill supporting, he's the target. Not picked out. This is Josh Ruffles. O'Brien for Sorba Thomas. Thomas makes progress. On to O'Brien. Towards Toffolo, that should be in his with Michael McGovern. Max Aarons. Pierre Les Melou. Rhodes here pressuring former teammate Christoph Zimmermann. Pacheta lights the fires away from Sorba Thomas. Up here to find Hugill, who has been brought down there by Matty Pearson. Norwich free kick, ball back in play here now with Kieran Dow, Christoph Zimmermann. Max Aarons. Pacheta. On to Dowell. Omabamidele. Sorba Thomas just bounced away from Jordan Rhodes. Max Aarons. Well, the new season, of course, getting ever nearer day by day for Norwich. They return to the Premier League. Liverpool, the first opponents. Before then, 4 more pre-season matches to come. Coventry, Sheffield United, Gillingham, Newcastle. Then it all starts for real when the phony war is done. Norwich back in the Premier League. Les Melou. Aarons. McGovern away. Here is Lucas Rupp. Ruffles for Huddersfield Town. Holds off for Les Melou. Now arriving the impressive Harry Toffolo. Away there by Andrew Omabamadele. Thomas finds space. Sorba Thomas in for Rhodes. Zimmerman steps in for Norwich. Here is Projeta. Kieran Dowell on here to find Projeta. Into Jordan Hugill. Now Les Melou. Aarons on this near side pushing on if he can see him. Ruffles. Colwell blocked. There's Les Melou again with O'Brien. Those two have had a battle this afternoon. And a repeat of the score here when Lincoln came on Tuesday to the Lotus Training Centre. 1-0, that winning goal scored by Les Melou. Today's goal scorer rather more familiar to Norwich fans, Teemu Pukki. Here is Thomas. Thomas for Diarra. Breaks back to O'Brien. A few spots of rain on the breeze. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien in. And Ruffle shot blocked by Zimmerman and away by Rupp. Picked up here now by Ollie Turton. Onto Sorba Thomas, who's caught the ice and's coming on. Back to O'Brien. Helped on to Hogg. Diarra. It's Brahima Diarra. It's Jordan Rhodes. Omabamadele in the way this time. McGovern away, but not with much conviction. It'll be a throw-in. Sorba Thomas. Now Brahima Diarra. Hogg's pass, good pass too here for Turton. And Turton, Aarons away. And a corner. And it is Huddersfield who are applying the pressure onto Norwich. Very good display this from the Terriers in the last 10 minutes or so, looking to level the game. Still Pukki's goal the difference. In the middle, they've pushed forward Levi Colwell. Jordan Rhodes, a noted poacher and sniffer of chances in situations such as this. It'll be a Sorba Thomas corner for Huddersfield Town. In by Thomas. Comes out here to O'Brien. Back out to Sorba Thomas. Hugill intervenes. Well, these are still for Norwich fairly early days in pre-season. Have to, of course, manage players' game time, not least those given leave extended after the Euros, get them back into the first team picture. Players today like Teemu Pukki and Tim Krul getting their first minutes of pre-season. Hugill, Dowell, Ida, Ollie Turton, away by Rupp here to Adam Ida. Lucas Rupp here, space for Hernandez, ball taken well by him. Ida on the move, he's the target, here he is, Adam Ida onto Hugill, and away by Pearson in the nick of time for Huddersfield Town. Lovely, flowing, lucid, fluid Norwich counter. And Matty Pearson there to slide the ball from danger with Hugill poised to make it 2-0. Well, Pearson the player down on the turf. There will be a double Norwich change too as well. We're going to see the Canaries rotate their pack with a couple of their younger players coming on. Lucas Rupp departs here for I think Dan Adshead, and Kieran Dowell will go off as well. So Adshead coming on, wearing number 42 for Norwich. And also coming on, I think here is maybe John Tomkinson, the Texan-born centre-back. They have gone, I think, then with him on to a back three now at Norwich, with Omabamidele, Zimmerman and Tomkinson the back three. Here's Hugill. Porheta. Back to Les Melou. Aarons. Well, Tomkinson, who has come on, as I say, born in Plano in Texas, speaks a fairly decent amount of Spanish as well. Here he is on the ball. O'Neill Hernandez back with Tomkinson. Did have holidays as a young boy in East Anglia. Here's Ida. Dan Adshead on here to find Jordan Hugill, and Adam Ida on the chest. Adam Ida's finish was devastating. It is Norwich 2-0 up, and Ida, who scored the winner against the Terriers back on the first day of last season, is there to finish to make it 2-0 today in this pre-season friendly. Well, when the ball came Ida's way, you just knew he was going to finish, and finish he did with real force. And the Canaries lead now by 2-0 against Huddersfield Town. Adam Ida's second goal of pre-season, to go with last Friday's goal against Kings Lynn. Norwich 2, Huddersfield Town 0. This is Turton. Now Sorba Thomas. Nicked away here by Dan Adshead. It's Adshead still. Adshead for Jordan Hugill. Friedauer again, away in the nick of time by Levi Colwill. It has impressed the young defender Colwill. Brought in on loan from Chelsea. He's only 18, born in Southampton. On a year's loan from Chelsea. A name to watch. Paqueta. Tomkinson. O'Neill Hernandez. Always lost the ball here now to Ruffles for Huddersfield. Has Toffolo with him. Shrugged off there well by young defender Tomkinson, who is only 19 himself. It comes here to Sorba Thomas. Thomas. Adshead's foul, free kick Huddersfield Town, a position for them to maybe get a shot on target as well from the foul by Dan Adshead. So Norwich lead by 2, but a free kick here which will be within range surely of maybe Harry Toffolo. Sorba Thomas adjacent to it as well. Lewis O'Brien shows interest in it as well for Huddersfield Town. I think it may well suit the left boot, this of Harry Toffolo. Sorba Thomas with the right boot is maybe plan B on this set piece for Carlos Corberan's Huddersfield.
You okay with the ball, Kane, yeah?
It is Harry Toffolo deflection, and McGovern down to cling on to it. Has played well today so far, Harry Toffolo. That free kick does have to ask a question of Michael McGovern. This is Zimmerman. Up to Ida. Andrew Omabamadele. Diarra. Now Turton. Towards Rhodes. Defender Omabamadele is there for Norwich. It does break back here for Rhodes. Les Melu got a touch on it. And again. This is Projeta. Adset. Hernandez spins away and looks to accelerate. Covered by Harry Toffolo. Well, the whistle ends. Another win for Norwich, 3 from 3 now in their pre-season programme. In the first half, Teemu Pukki's first game of pre-season brought his first goal as well of his preamble, and then late on Adam Ida there to seal the victory on a day when Norwich were given their most stern test so far of their pre-season campaign, but they have beaten the second-tier Terriers by a goal in each half. Full-time score here at the Lotus Training Centre. It ends Norwich City 2, Huddersfield Town 0.
How are you, mate? Okay? Very good, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Try and get down here with some